Hey Lena, how you doing? All right, John, how are you? Great. Very busy day on the Channel Z today. Channel Z, Studio 909, as we call it. Yes. A lot going on. Still engaged in the massive 72-hour healing circle for Matthew Sweet. We just completed a great jam with Matthew, George Harrison, Nellie Mackay. Everyone else and the brethren have all been in the house tonight to help power the channel. It was an incredibly powerful musical jam that we did. So look for that on the YouTube channel. And also, John, well, we had an interaction, not a very, not particularly pleasant one, but an indirect sort of interaction with a channeler that has made claims to channeling John Lennon and writing books with John Lennon, and we're not here to slag her credibility or anything else. She is entitled to her story, and she should stick to it. All right, that's an interesting tact. Well, yes, that's the open-minded. That's the open-minded way of looking at it. It's her story. She's sticking to it. Let her stick to it. That's fine. There's value in all kinds of ascensional channeling. But there's just a couple of points I wanted to make also with regard to her videos. When she talks about, I took great exception to the fact that she claimed that John Lennon referred to her, the channeler, as a doormat. Used the exact wordage of, we were looking for a doormat, somebody that the whole world had thrown away, somebody that we could use that would be a good channel because we needed a doormat. Right, that's how she referred to herself, and that's what she said John and the others, brethren, said about her. Right, they would never do that. That's just not. Now, you're dealing with spirits out there. I know that you are. But the more John talks to me, I don't... Yeah. Okay, we won't go into it, but that was not me calling anyone a doormat. And that was not Jim, and that was not Jack, and that was not Bowie, and that was not... I don't think she mentioned Bowie at all. No, she didn't, which is strange. If she was really on the mission, Bowie's like the captain of the thing. Yeah. What are you laughing at? Oh, you know something they don't know. Right. But Jim Morrison and George Harrison certainly are big parts of the mission. So, again, we're not here to talk about her claims. We're here to talk about discrepancies as to what she's claimed John said. So, number one, John wouldn't call anyone a doormat. What was the other one? She claimed that to use the mission for musical and entertainment purposes is she somehow made it seem like it was sinful and not the path. It is the only path for Lena. It's not your path out there. We'll call her R.A. All right, which is the opposite of artisan repertoire. Yes, if you know anything about music, A&R people are artisan repertoire. Your initials are ironically the opposite of that. Yes, you don't know anything about music. You don't know anything about really entertainment. You claim to not listen to music at all before I came along, right? You didn't know who Kerouac was. You didn't know who anybody was, it sounds like, right? Barely knew who John Lennon was, right? So, again, we're not taking away from your credibility, but whatever you're picking up, it's not going to be the same thing that Lena's picking up. She's a professional musician. She's a prolific writer and a composer. She has the exact same life path that I experienced. We just so happen to have been 22 years apart in this earthly life. You have no right to tell her anything about music, especially telling her not to do it. Right. Yeah, amazing. Incredible that someone would have the nerve to and to say things about John's cartoons. And she uses the C word. John would never use the C. Why would this woman say John would never use the C word? John spent his whole earthly life running around calling people cunts. That's his humor. Yeah, we've already covered that. And she doesn't like the C word? All right. Nobody's asking you to say it. Don't say it. I'll say it, though. I won't call you that. That's not what I did. I never called you a cunt, R.A. I called Lena a cunt because she's cunt. Very funny, John. Get off. What was the other point? She's 12 years older than you. R.A. is 12. Yeah, she's 12 years older than you. You also, in the videos, come across very young. You also look much younger than 63. She's 75, you're 63. People look at pictures of you, they see maybe a 40-year-old woman. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Right, and you died at 40. That's right. And when I died, I looked much older than you look now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I looked like an 80-year-old man when I died. Yeah. I looked like her age when I died. Right. Yeah, you did not look like a 40-year-old man. You were very emaciated and your skin was very, shut up, Lena. All right. I thought you were very handsome. It's too late now. Yeah, all right. No, thank you, honey. Anyway, you don't age. You have never aged like the ordinary person. You are something different. And by the grace of God, we, that's a very beautiful thing. But the fact of the matter is, this woman's initial impression of you was incorrect. Because you also have the voice of a very young, vibrant, strong, vigorous woman. Especially when you sing, or talk, or speak, or recite, or anything. You don't sound like some older woman, right? Yeah, and that's people misjudge you all the time. They misjudge you all the time. You've had people in your life tell you, "Wow, you're so much wiser than your age," and then you tell them how old you are, and they're like, "Oh, all right, no wonder you're pretty old," and I'm like, "Yeah, 63 now." So, and no one ever guesses that. So she kind of has sort of been treating me like I'm like, and this has been, other women have done this to me too, and men, like I'm some dope who doesn't know what I'm talking about, and then they find out how old I am and they kind of are taken aback, right? So she now, even so, knowing what, if she knows what she knows now, that she's 12 years older than you, she still feels like it's an ego-based thing. I'm the elder, right? How dare she? I've been a mystic my whole life. That's her claim, right? Well, so have you, Lena, right? And you have, but you're an older soul than she is, though, and she doesn't realize that either. It doesn't matter about this lifetime out there, R.A. Lena's an older soul than you. She started incarnating many eons before you ever made your first trip down here, right? This is John telling you this. This is John clarifying that for you. So, and I know you're going to watch these videos because, again, you can't unsee it, and you're going to want to know what we're up to over here. So, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. We're coming up on 9. Praise be God and Mother. We're going to call it a night, baby. All right. Love you. Praise be God. Love you, too. Praise be God and Mother. Off we go. Off we go. What happened? Cat rule. Turn off again. We wanted to go out on 909. Oh, let's go for 18.